The 170-pound division in the UFC right now is absolutely outstanding. It's probably the best combat sporting division. Whether we go to different MMA promotions like Bellator or whether we go to different boxing promotions, I think the 170-pound men's division right now is probably the best of all time. Look, what we've got, I broke these guys up into different camps. You know, we've got elite title holders. We've got kind of normal title holders. We've got prospects. We've got all that stuff. We're going to talk about each grouping. Right now for elite title holders, and these are guys that can rattle off 3, 4, 5 title defenses and can also win in style, whether that is by KO consistently, whether that is by 50-45 decision consistently, whether it's by submissions. These are elite title holders. They win decisively, and they make it look easy, regardless of what style they're competing against. We have Islam, obviously. Look, if Islam wins 3 or 4 fights in a row at 170, and defends the title at 155 4 times, and then moves up to 170 and defends it 4 or 5 times, nobody would be stunned. He definitely has the capabilities to do that. And you can't say that about most champs. Most champs, you're not going to look at them and say, after moving up a division, getting to the back half of his prime, most champs are not going to be capable or favored to win the next 4 or 5 fights. Then we also have Ilya, and some people are going to say this doesn't count because Ilya's not there yet. Look, we were already talking about how good the 170-pound division was before Islam stepped foot in the octagon at 170. So Ilya's moving up. I think Ilya's also a guy that if he beats Islam by KO and then beats Morales by KO and then beats Ian Gary by KO, would anyone be stunned? Look, it'd be crazy. We'd be having GOAT discussions. But that's kind of the insane point is we have 2 guys that depending on how they win the next 3 fights, or if they do win the next 3 fights, either of these guys, Ilya or Islam, could very well be the GOAT of the sport, and they're both at 170 at the same time. And I think these are elite title holders, or potential elite title holders. Now we have normal solid champs. So elite title holders, they come around once a decade. Once a decade at every division, 125, 135, all the way up to 265. You have one guy every 10 years that goes on a dominant 3 or 4 year run where they just blow everybody out. Maybe they don't win every single fight, but they're dominant. People are scared of them. If you beat them once, if they get a rematch, they're going to beat you the second time. So most divisions don't even have an elite title contender. 170 is 2. Now, most divisions, they consistently have one solid champ. And what a solid champ is it's just a solid champ. Some guy that he's got a 50-50 shot to dethrone the current champ. He's got a 50-50 shot to defend his belt, and then he's got a 50-50 shot to defend it twice. So most likely these guys, it's kind of like the revolving door at 185. With Sean Strickland, not really DDP. I'd say DDP's in that weird zone where he's not just a solid champ, but he's not an elite champ. He's kind of in that middle ground. But I'd say Sean Strickland is the ultimate solid champ. You win once, and then you lose, and it's just kind of like you're a solid champ. But I've got Shavkat and I've got Kamaru Usman. Now, Kamaru Usman obviously used to be an elite champ. Now, in his old age, I think he's just a solid champ. He could definitely win the title. Nobody would be surprised by that. He could win the title, maybe defend it once, but just kind of a general run-of-the-mill champion. But you've got 2 of those. So you've got 2 elite guys who are generational. You've got 2 guys who in normal divisions would win it and probably defend it once. Now we've got elite contenders. And what I mean by elite contenders is these guys, as solid champions, you expect them to win the belt. You expect them to get at least one title win. If for some reason, like a Dustin Poirier, he's one of the solid champions that never ended up getting the belt, actually. He got the interim championship, but Dustin Poirier feels like that guy that if you give him 2 or 3 shots at the title, he'll win one, and he'll probably defend at least once. But those are guys, Kamaru and Shavkat, in normal divisions, they would definitely touch the belt. Elite contenders, these are guys that it's kind of a 50-50 type deal. If things break right for them, if for some reason somebody calls out sick, these are guys that they're not, 155 with Moicano when he fought Islam, nobody really thought he could win. These are all guys that for whatever reason, if they get lucky with booking or if they're able to win their next 2 fights, these are legit guys. These are guys that could definitely win the title and could definitely get a defense, but it's probably lower than 50% that they get it done. We've got JDM, who already has won the title, but I'm speaking about future tense. We've got Bilal, who once again has already won the title. We've got Sean Brady, and we've got Leon. And look, I think all those guys one of them probably will win the title again. You know, three of those guys have already won the title, but out of those four guys, there's a pretty good chance that one of them touches the title again. And then we've got kind of in a different camp. They're in the same camp as those four guys, you know, elite contenders. These are elite prospects, but they're also contenders. These are guys that, those four guys I listed due to age, due to them already having the belt, due to them having a bunch of fights, those are guys that in most normal divisions, one or two of them out of the four would fight for a title again, and there's probably a 50-50 shot one of those four ends up with a title win, a title defense. In the possible champ category, and these are guys that they're not there yet, they're not solid champion holders, but these are guys that could be elite soon. We've got Morales, we've got Gary, we've got Prates, we've got Buckley. Usually divisions have one or two of those guys. Usually divisions have a solid champ, maybe two. They've got a few of the older prospects who have touched the belt before or fought for the belt and have lost. And then they've got a few prospects. And that rounds out the top 10. Right now, we've got two elite guys. We've got two solid guys, so that's four. We have these four possible champs, Morales, Gary, Prates, Buckley. Any of these guys, just based on their talent, their explosiveness, any of these guys could be champs that rattle off a few wins. We also obviously have the four elite guys that nobody thinks JDM, Bilal, Brady, or Leon are bad. Now maybe they're, you know, kind of ending their prime, but any of those four guys in normal divisions, those are guys that if you beat them, you get the title shot. And then you've got, you know, kind of the gatekeepers for the top 15. We've got Wonderboy, we've got Colby, we've got Gilbert. They're not good fighters, but they're decent. You know, they're scrappy vets. So look, I think 170. The fact that if these are the rankings, Ilya Islam 1-2, we've got Usman Shavkat 3-4. I mean, having Usman who did that to Hamza at 185. We've got Usman at number 4. We have Shavkat at number 3, who is a very good fighter. And then we obviously have the top two guys who are having Ilya, who could potentially be the goat of the sport, at number 2 in the division is insane. And somehow we have to rank these 8 guys, and 2 of them are going to be outside the top 10. So JDM, Bilal, Brady, Leon, Morales, Gary, Prates, Buckley. So I think Morales is definitely inside the top 10. Let's say he's 5, Gary's 6, Prates is 7. JDM's got to be top 10 because he just lost the belt. Bilal's also got to be top 10 because he just lost the belt. So that means Brady, Leon, and Buckley are all outside the top 10. I just think that's insane with how good this division is. I mean, those guys, in normal divisions, a guy like Buckley, he's at number 6. He's one fight away from the title. You know, guys like Leon, they're still scrappy. I know he's lost some fights, but these are usually scrappy guys. Bilal being number 9. You know, Bilal loses the title and goes from the best to 9. It's just absurd.